You know what that means? You know, you like it? It means that God is one. God is the one and only God. This is that. We do it again? Yes. And we turn around him. We turn around him that way.
Go in circle?
Yes. Give the hand. Allah, why? Allah, why? Allah, why? Allah, why? Say that you want to do all with him. Like that. Allah, 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 faut le dire chaque jour qui chante ça après la récréation. Say that if you wanted a song, you can sing that song every day. This is yours. Your music. Say that this is a gift your grandfather coming from deep Africa have brought for you. Say that he wants you to pray for him. And he's going to pray for you to be a very big and very wise man and woman in this camp. Can you help your parents, your relatives, help the poor person? You help these children who don't have parents, who doesn't have dad and doesn't have mom. And you love everybody only for God. And you love white people and you love black people. And you love them only for God. You know that you know all of us. And you remember him every time and you sing Allah wise. 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 My name is Sheikh Abdullah. He said that his name is Sheikh Abdullah. Abdullah. Yes. Abdullah, 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 okay. Line up, no. Get him up first, follow. Get him up, brother, first time. Come on, brother, get in line. Come on. Get in line. Ready together. Brother, they done. Evan.
Canton Valle. Ses intentions qu'il avait.
Mr. Kevin, where are you supposed to be? Are you captain? Brother Kevin, where are you supposed to be? Door man, open the door.
My class?
first one who showed us that we had families here in this part of the world.
On nous a dit même qu'il a essayé de les amener au Canada. Mais là, on n'a pas assisté.
Said that he tried and put all his effort, his money, his fortune to bring back Africa.
Mais moi, je suis un Marcus Garvey qui est venu de l'Afrique pour amener les Américains.
Said that he is also a Marcus Garvey. He is coming from Africa to take Africa and bring them back in Africa.
Et il faut dire à ses enfants que je suis leur papa et je fais partie de cette équipe.
Say that you do say to everybody that he's the father. He's a father of this group, and he's a member of this group.
Il met pas ma photo ici, c'est les enfants.
Say that he wants you to take his picture and for the children not to forget him.
That's right. I have a camera.
This way? That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Go on, Corey. All right. You get another one more. You always have to take two. All right.
Thank you so much, you guys. You
Okay.
guys are so fabulous. Say thank you. Have a good day. Where did you come?
Next one. Shake his hand. Say happy to have you here. It's nice. Look, Bianca. One more. Come on, Bianca. Black child pledge. Black child pledge.
Oh, what's up?
Get a project to publish books for children here and next year we will give books to these children for them to know better about Africa.
Je vais le raconter parce que j'ai vu dans cette salle tous les animaux. Je n'ai pas vu par exemple, on a montré l'Afrique. Il y a de belles arbres en Afrique, comme le baobab, le caïcidra. J'ai vu certains animaux ici qui sont les mêmes qu'en Afrique. Mais je n'ai pas vu l'éléphant, la girafe.
Say that there are many beautiful trees in Africa. People don't know about them.
I've been there. I've been to Senegal. In fact, Miss Thomas and I, we were there 2 years ago.
Yes.
And I had a beautiful time.
Yes. And we talked last time when I came here.
Okay, yeah.
And we project to link that school with another school in
Okay.
Senegal.
J'ai dit que je suis le maire d'une ville là-bas. Je pourrais facilement le linkage, le linkage de cette ville.
So he's a mayor of a city in Senegal. And to link this school with another school over there would be something easy to do.
Je suis aussi un écrivain spécialisé pour les enfants et un conteur.
Say that he's a writer and he used to deal with tales for children.
Oh, I would like to have some.
Yes, tales for children.
I would like to have a
Et
book. It's like, oh, you have your book. You have your book. Okay, so.
C'est ça, j'ai fait un livre comme ça pour une autre système. Nous, nous faisons un travail comme
following that way.
ces enfants.
Putting seeds on them to grow well.
Je suis très content et très ému parce que quand ils viendront au Sénégal, je vais montrer dans une période, elle m'a mais une institutrice de son gens, on se regarde à 110 personnes.
So that you are happy in your class and because you have
Parce que les enfants en Afrique, dans certains villages, quand ils voient un chien, ils le mangent pas. Ils croient que c'est chétan. Or, j'ai vu des enfants en France, quand ils voient un chien, ils disent c'est le joli petit chien.
say that the value are different from one country to another. And in Africa, when the children they see one dog, they say that this is the devil, and they throw stone on it, and they eat the dog. And when you go in Europe, when there is a dog, all the children are around and say, puppy, and they say, oh, beautiful dog. Say that one thing in a different way. Say that if you don't know this difference of values from one place to another place, you cannot write for children and you cannot reach them. Thank you.
Praising our ancestors and praising ourselves to be the beautiful African people that we know we are. We teach our children much pride, to have much pride in themselves. And I'm learning how to play this drum. I don't know how to play it that well, but we're okay. But I will take this time to brag just a little bit. These plaques you see on the wall behind you are the plaques I won last year doing the pledges. Every day we have an annual pledge competition every day. I mean, not every year, I'm sorry. So my last year's class won these plaques, so I plan for us to win again this year. It's so glad. I said, attention. One more time for your African minds. Attention. How we gonna keep it, brothers and sisters?
Keep it straight, keep it strong. Huh. 1, 2.
Rise.
H-O-T-E-P. Hotep. It's time to say hotep to all the black people in the empty house.
ancestors.
All ancestors.
Uh-huh.
Blacker than skies at midnight. Pyramid.
Pyramid what? Builders.
Radiation priests. Warriors and mystic scientists.
Uh-huh. Stay together.
Give us the inspiration to fight. 1,000 nights.
Uh-huh. Listen.
Give us enlightenment to unravel the mysteries of the universe.
Uh-huh.
Give us the sustenance to travel through the trackless one of time. Help us sing this harmony. Praise be our African name. Power to the black people.
All right. Very good. So, we have a series of pledges that we do, but this is how we get started each morning, and as you can see, it inspires us greatly. It's off to a very good start. Okay, have a seat. And we branch off into the different areas of language also. As you can see, we cover geography, we cover all these regions in the United States. We'll go on to Canada, Central America, West Indies, South America. They've been exposed to Africa as well. We're going to cover all the continents, okay, before they leave this classroom this year. So that's our goal geographically. They've worked on expanding numbers, rounding numbers, place value. Let's do Jelani, come here for a moment. Can you do this in your head mentally? Can you add this for us? Yeah? Okay. Can I add one more roll for you? You can handle it. And then we are subtracting, renaming also. Hold on 1 second, okay, we'll start. Sab, I'd like you to read for us. We're learning the history of math, okay? Not only the mechanics of math, but the history of math as well. And let's use this one right here. And do some reading for us as we work through the problems. And Xavier, come to the board also. Hold on 1 second, Xavier.
Now this is a second grade class.
Start reading for us as they work their way through the problem.
The African heritage of math. Math begins in Africa. According to most scientists, the first people lived in Africa. There, people first developed language, tools, and organized ways of living. People also created mathematics. Mathematics is the use of numbers, shapes, and patterns to describe and explain the world. Early evidence of math. In Africa, scientists found early evidence of people's use of math. A fossil bone was discovered in Zaire at a place now called Ishango. This bone is about 25,000 years old. It has many tallies or marks that represent number counts. Some scientists think that Ishango bone was a calendar. Others think it shows that people had discovered multiplication. The tallies for 3 and 6 and 4 and 8 or 5 and 10 could show people were multiplying by 2. Although the meaning of Ishango bone is unknown. It shows mathematical thinking. Tallies are one way to write numbers. People use tallies to count days or objects. But there is a problem with using tallies to record numbers. How large a number would easily write and read. Using tally marks. Using tally marks practical. It takes too much time, and tally valleys are difficult to read. So people came up with a new way to record numbers. In 3100 BC, Africans in the Nile Valley invented numerals. Ancient Egyptians developed math. Over 6,000 years ago, Africa grew many crops. After the flood, when a flood was high, farmers grew enough grain. But some years, flood waters were too low to reach all of the farmland. Then many people starved. To keep people from starving, Africans in the Nile River began to store grain. The organized farming, storage, and distribution. Over time, this organization led to the first central government.
Okay, that's good enough. Thank you very much. Okay, you got it? You know it right quick? Make sure you have the right That's the right answer.
Beginning and the
Okay.
end. Definitely.
You know?
That's right.
And then they also know how to check these problems, okay, with addition also. Okay. Do you want to check it? Okay, you can do that while we do something else. Go ahead and here, let me erase Jelani's problem. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He should have read his answer. You're absolutely right, Sister Thomas. Well, we erased that. But you want to read a number for us while he checks his problem? What is the value of F5? 500 million. Very good. Okay. What is the value of these three here? So they're so familiar with their place value. They know, of course, better than that this 5 is only worth 5. They know it's worth 500 million. And we've started out with a chart and teaching them the different periods throughout the numbers. And of course that their places repeat over and over and over. So they learned that in the beginning. What you saw Jelani do started from this. Every day before we start our mathematical sessions, they have to go through this and do this mentally. So it embeds the basic number facts, the addition facts, and subtracting facts in their heads mentally. And that's why they can go to the board and do all that without any fingers or any sticks or anything like that. So it starts out with something very basic. We do the same thing with the multiplication tables. Well, this is not just memorizing the words or the sequence of the story, but being able to explain and describe things as they go throughout the story. They're also familiar with descriptive writing and narrative writing. So they write papers 3 times a week, describing their weekends, what they've done at home in the evenings, what they plan to do for the upcoming weekend also. So it gives them experience, not just recognizing parts of speech, but being able to explain themselves through writing. Okay. Did you check it? Okay, so his problem is correct. He used the addition to check his subtraction, and he says it did come out correct. That did it? We're going to just run over this. Most of you have finished this, I know. The bones of the fingers. The bones of the fingers. They're called the phalanges, okay? A small bone. Okay, speak up, please. What is a thick, flat, triangular bone, movable bone, that forms the point of the knee? What is that called? That is our... No. Patella. Very good. Very good. What do we call the bones of the back? Of the back. That's our what? Okay. Don't yell out without raising your hand. Okay. All right. What about the bones of the wrist? Clasp. Okay. So it sounds like you all are going to do very well on your test. Okay. What is the larger bone of the human forearm extending from the elbow to the wrist? On the opposite side of the thumb. It goes from here down here, and that's called the what? Ulna. The ulna. Very good. Okay. And what is the flat bone that supports most of the ribs, not all of the ribs, but most of the ribs? That is your what? Sternum. Very good. Okay. Either of the 2 large bones, and they're triangular in shape, okay, and they're connected with the vertebrae girdle, okay, and also they help with your clavicles. What am I talking about? Scapula. What's another name for the scapula? Wait a minute. No, the scapula. What's another name for the scapula? Shoulder blade. Very good. Okay. And what's the long, slightly curved bone? You have 2 bones in your forearm. Okay. Name one. There's another one that's shorter and thicker. What is that called? Radius. The radius. Very good. Very good. Okay. We've also in science, let me show you our science is very 50. In science,
How many doctors are coming out of this class?
Doctors?
You are going to go into the medical field. Very, very good. It's really rewarding too, and you could be of so much help to a number of people, to African people, to all of humanity. You can really be a good service in whatever you decide to do.
you all hear him?
Yes.
Who else had, what else, other professions are we talking about going into after we leave high school, college? What would you like to be? Share some of that with us.
A doctor.
Well, he said, okay, he asked about the doctors already. Anything different other than a doctor?
I'll be a fireman.
A fireman? Okay. Okay, Saba. A marine biologist? Okay, and she has a little brother in kindergarten who wants to become a pilot. Her father's a pilot as well as an engineer. So they have their sights set really high also. So, Jordan?
I want to become a scientist.
A scientist, very good, very good. And a judge. So we're just about covering everything in here. Very good. Okay, hold on. Let's see, on the, speaking of science, let me find a science test. Now, they've had a little bit of introduction. Okay, what about Wazima? Let's start with Hamjambo, or either Ujambo.
How are you?
How are you? Okay, what about Hamjambo?
How are you?
Talking to what? More than one person. Okay, Maligani?
Are you well?
Is that plural, or are you talking to more than one person, or just one person? Maligani. Okay, all right. How would you say, how are you ladies? If you want to say, how are you ladies to the sisters that come into the room, what would you say to them?
I'm Jumbo, my baby.
Very good, very good. Okay, and how would you say, how are you gentlemen, or how are you brothers?
Jumbo, my boy.
Very good, very good. If I were to say, tafadali kaki taco, what am I talking about? What am I telling you to do? Please sit down. That's something I tell them every morning. They come in and take their stand, and I say, tafadali kaki taco. What are you going to do? Sit down. Very good. And of course, when someone does something very nice and you say asante sana, what are you telling them?
Thank you very much.
Okay. What about si jumbo? Someone says, or someone asks you, jumbo, bibi? What are you going to say?
Oh, I see Jumbo.
Okay. Jumbo, bibi, though? What would you say? What would be your reply? Jumbo.
I'm Jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jumbo now.
Okay. What did she just say? Who knows what she just said? What did she just say?
I am fireman.
Very good. Okay. Our classroom. This is something that we do every day in here. You know, like a nanny. No, reply to me in Swahili, though. Do you know like a nanny? Okay, very good. Do you know like a nanny? Okay, all right. So this is the drill that we go through daily with them. They're going to cover this whole little book. It's just very brief, you know, but at least they learn how to greet one another and say bye to each other, and just things that will get them by when they're traveling even. Okay, we have a booklet that covers traveling. Now, you all speak, what is it, Wola? Wola? Okay. We were reading this. We just started reading this book just yesterday. You all take out your books. And this is the book that covers traveling throughout West Africa. We just started reading this book yesterday. You don't have your book. And we just started reading. It just so happened we've already covered the first chapter. We started reading about this today. That was their assignment to read yesterday. Learning about Senegal. So this will take you throughout the parts of West Africa. Tony Browder and his daughter Atlantis.
Page 16.
ci page 16.
Page 16.
ci page 16 bi la nekk.
It's who they're referring to.
Check out the application.
Yeah, it's okay.
So they'll be learning about him also. You're welcome. And they love learning. They love what they do. They enjoy coming to school every day.
If only I wanted to go back in my life and learn, I would like really to learn like that. We didn't have the chance to learn like that.
Neither did I.
I can talk Swahili. I cannot talk any other African language. Only my language. It's good for them to know one African.
Oh yes,
Swahili.
definitely.
Definitely very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Great class. Thank you, sister.
Thank you very much. Are you the principal?
Really wonderful. Really wonderful.
We're going to the junior high.
Very strong. The best.
Thank you.
Thank you, class. You did well. You did well. I'm proud of you.
They just first started off with this is this small building right here. And then they build right here. Oh, you're sending them. I guess they just it doesn't. Yeah, they bring them here no matter what, huh? This is the junior high up over here.
So, but how was it back? So, let's talk. Let's see the picture.
Junior high.
Here for everybody. Yeah, control the way. Who's Sheikh and what he does for us.
Making 2 schools, one in Africa and Queen. You came in Senegal.
Yes.
We talked.
Yes, I did.
And you talked to me about that project to link to
Yes,
school.
I sure did.
Yes.
Yes.
And maybe the time has come for practicing that now.
Okay.
Because the Sheikh will help us for that.
Very good. But I didn't know you was in this group. I had no idea.
There is no accident when you say that. it gone in the sky, and now the time is to come back and make it possible.
That's right. Especially when you get a chance to see it. You
Yes.
see it in action already.
Absolutely.
It can always be duplicated.
Oh, all right. We did it one time, and we want to do it with Marcus Garvey.
That's right.
That's
Absolutely.
very important.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're willing to help you as much as we can.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
We'll remain in contact with you.
Absolutely.
So that we can further galvanize the bond.
Yes, yes. As well as set up that network with the science. One of our parents here, Joe Johnny He's a wonderful parent. He raised quite a few politicians through.
So where's everyone from?
All over.
All over.
But
Okay.
of course, we all are
Senegal.
rich.
Senegal.
From Senegal?
From Senegal.
Sister Jamila is from Nigeria. Many of us are from here. The brother here, he's from Senegal as well.
I visited Senegal in '96. It's a wonderful place. Yes. Oh, yes.
C'est très intéressant l'histoire. Inch'Allah, je vous remercie.
That the Sheikh wanted to eventually have African children from here to go back to Senegal to train a number of people.
And one thing we try to do that you're going to do in your school is we try to expose them to the African traditions.
Est-ce qu'on ne peut pas même faire en Afrique une école Marcus Garvey?
He's thinking about why not to create a Marcus Garvey school in Africa.
Right.
So we need to take care of that. The matter is that African people, African children don't know about these personalities only when they become older. When they came out of Africa, they will discover these personalities, William Du Bois, and all these African men who work on to liberate Africa. We don't know them, and what we need is so young, this stage, to make people know and to know what are their values, how they can make their people valuable. They make their people valuable through these men who stand up and say that we are the people of Africa. And they don't know, people of America, children of America, don't know the African heroes. They don't know about it. What we need is to gather all of this.
Yes, yes.
And to make them know all the universe of our heroes.
That's right.
And to exchange values.
J'ai été très étonné quand j'ai vu tout ce que l'Afrique a de valeurs de personnalité. La dernière qui a été sécrétée par les grandes valeurs, c'est Sheikh Hamza qui existe là-bas. Et ses ancêtres, ses pères, ses maîtres n'existent pas.
So that he's wondering how things can be like that. When he saw on one book with the children that the last hero of the African hero they know in America is Sheikh Dieye. And they don't know anything about people who make Sheikh Dieye become what it is.
That's right. That's right.
Ils ont connu Sheikh.
Say that Dieye is a child. When you know about the history of this person who makes Sheikh Dieye become what it is.
Right. Absolutely.
And the matter we were talking about that is that in Africa we didn't do anything to make it possible. African people must come in America and open themselves to the American culture. Because there is a new culture, this is the culture of the African Americans. We must know it.
Oh, yes.
Africans, if they ignore it in Africa. And this is a danger.
Le danger, déjà, ils ont semé le doute dans l'esprit de certains Africains et dans l'esprit de certains Africains.
For that, there is a kind of doubt and shadow in the mind of African people about the way the process of our history. And this is the reason why they put this shadow. They don't talk about, they don't teach people about that part of the history. They say that the matter of slavery. This is not only that. The matter of slavery is one part. This is the first part. There is a following part with how American people are living in America, how they are developing. They are not developing in the way of showing the conflicts. They are developing in the matter of settling education, having a life, and how they are linked to Africa, to the spirituality of Africa in this country. They don't talk about that. They only talk that they fight here, they make demonstration there, and the police, 100 people killed, and they ask for civil rights. That's not only that. They are an everyday life of people, an everyday school for children. And that's the part, the most important for African people to know how our brothers and sisters are trying to develop in America. They don't know that African Americans get knowledge and are much involved in the matter of scientific research, and they created many things. They create that neon light, traffic light, that little ball of the thing they play golf. Many inventions are coming from the African American. They don't know about that in Africa. This is when I came here, I knew about that. And I'm sure of one thing, if only the children and the people of Africa know about that, they will know that our future is in the sciences.
That's right.
Because we did it.
And they have the
What you
knowledge
did
to do it.
is what we did too. There is no difference, no separation. We don't want it.
Ancestors did it thousands of years ago.
Yes.
No reason why kids do it today.
There is no separation. I don't want to see the matter of the separation because of the language, because of the ocean. What's that, the ocean? I don't want to see it. But what I see that it happened many times when I look to an African American. I have that instinct to go and speak Wolof because I feel that like I have someone I recognize.
My brother.
Yes, I recognize in Africa.
Right.
And when the person is talking to me English, I say that I can bring you in Africa, and I am sure I am going to show you someone you are exactly.
That's so true. It's so true. I know when I visited.
The sister visited Senegal.
I've been to 5 countries so far. 5.
Say that you go in Africa, in West Africa, in any country in West Africa.
Queen Nana. Jordan.
She said, come in. She said, go quiet.
Okay, 15. What's 5 times negative 2? Negative. 2?
Because I subtracted 3 from 1.
You mean negative 3. So write that out and then work that out. And you can see what you're going to do instead. Write it across.
Okay.
That's not going to give you a positive 2. I can tell you that right now.
Oh.
Anyway, so just work it out. Do you need to rewrite it as an addition problem? Rewrite it. Well, you just can't make that addition when you rewrite it. Count it again, negative 3 plus negative 1. Negative 3 plus negative 1. The rules of addition say add and keep the sign, right? Add and keep the same sign. Oh, 3 plus what? You're a little nervous. There you go.
Very good, very good.
It is. It is.
This is exceptional. Can I ask the class a question?
Go ahead.
Can you students tell me, if I were to give a name to what your instructor has just written down there, that starts with a P, I'll give you a clue. What would you call, what would be one way of describing what she said? Like the first one, the minus 4x squared is one term, right? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Very good.
Just don't you do that. Very good.
Very good.
Appreciate it.
Let's just say that what she just drew, here's the y-axis, here's the x-axis, right? Let's just say that the way you would, let's say whatever this equation was, let's say that it looked something like that. Let's say that this f of x, first of all, what she's asking you to find is f prime of x, which is the first derivative, right?
Right.
Let's say that this can be, this function, which is another term that perhaps you guys are familiar with, is described by 2x squared plus 3. And let's just say that this describes it. And when you take the derivative, you know what you're finding? You're finding something called the instantaneous slope at one point, right there. If you, in other words, after you differentiate this, let's say I differentiate that, right? I get 4x, right? That's what f of x prime equals, right? You guys with me so far, right? What that then says, if I knew what the coordinate was right here, if I knew what that x value was, I put it in there, that would give me the slope at this point. When you're talking about a slope or a straight line, remember the y equals mx plus b? Remember that? Way of saying it is that the first derivative gives you the speed or the velocity of a particle, if you're talking about a particle. But see, when you're dealing with things like this, you know how to find the area in a triangle, right? You just bring that down, right? What is it? 1/2 height times base, right? But with these, you can't do it because they're curved. This is why the calculus was invented. So it's very important, because after you guys go here, you'll go into integration where you'll look at that sign, right? Integration will be saying, rather than finding the instantaneous speed at one point, you'll find the area under the curve from one point, let's say A, to B. You'll find the area under there. That's what I just wanted to add.
Oh, that's good for that. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, what is you? What about your next one? Okay, that's F prime, but I want F double prime. Let's take the derivative again. Let's take the derivative again. The derivative of that whole expression. Do it up. What about 20x cubed? Not quite. 3 times 20. There you go.
So, you guys make me want to cry.
Thank you, sister.
Right, very good.
Excellent.
One other question. What's the name of the organelle in the eukaryotic cell? There are primarily 2 basic types of cell. One is called prokaryotic, meaning that it's not a true cell. It doesn't have membranes around the organelles. And this one, U, meaning true. U means like true. What is the name of the power pack in the cell? What's the one that gives you the power? One of the chemicals that's produced is called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It's the thing that gives you the power to do things. It starts with an M. Yeah. What is it? Mitochondria. Yes, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sister Angie. This was our 5th grade. Okay.
Kitu gani television?
Oops, sorry.
You guys play first. How's everyone?
Hello. This is our computer lab.
These are the high school students. And right now, all the students are working on various math programs. We have 14 workstations throughout the computer lab. Over there in the back is a system right here where it's a camera that's set up. And what happens is that the students are able to communicate with each other via video through the different computers. Once we have the network system that is actually going to be set up, we're going to be able to have this technology and connect with other schools throughout the country. That will happen once the network is up and running. It's down right now. Let's see. This is Pharrell McCullough right here. He's one of our students who is involved with the science club. And another, I guess, aspect of the computer lab that we enjoy talking about is that each student that was involved with the computer and science club actually built these computers.
Wow.
As you can see, the different pictures throughout the classroom go around. Images of the students actually working and building on building the computers, and they built them off from scratch. I was not here when this happened. I actually just started in August. This was a project that happened last year with the Computer Science Club. Right, these pictures that we have set up on the wall are the different images, like collages, that are younger or babies across the street that they've created. But what I was trying to get them to do was to look in African American magazines, African American periodicals, and cut out images of us and of us using the computer. And they were quite successful. This was done by first grade students. We have some work done by the kindergarten students. And so I'm a believer in if you change the images a child sees, you also change the way they think. So I want them to begin to have
Getting onto the web, hooking up with something similar.
right. That is possible. It is possible. It's very likely that something like that will happen. This is, I guess it's a stage. It's a process. What we want to do first and foremost is link up with other black and like themselves actually in institutions like these that are involved with computer science or what have you. So the next step, we've actually contacted the Wakoto School in Washington, D.C. And they're actually working on getting the software. They actually came to our school last month for the conference. We Must Educate Our Own conference. And we submitted the information for them to actually get the software. So in the near future, the very near future, we're going to actually have a link up with them, with the school in Washington, D.C. And I'm pretty sure the next step, whether I'm here or not, I will hope that the next step would be to link up with other schools throughout the world, especially schools on the African continent. So, any other questions? Right. Okay.
Now, one thing I noticed about the young man, how old are you? 11. He actually, the keyboard, the mouse is not working. He's mastered the actor.
Told him what to look out for, and he went in and fixed the problem like 5 minutes ago. It would have been excellent to do it while you guys were here, but I was trying to get it up. This computer's down, and another one in the corner is down, so we're going to probably be working on that this afternoon. So
Can you just kind of look and see what some of the other students are doing?
Sure.
Just right quick.
Right, go ahead, just walk around. See what some of these students are doing. Tiffany, can you start working on your typing program? Try it once. All over the world, right?
I'll go down right now. We're ready. Okay, come on, we're ready. Come on.
La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah.
Say assalamu alaikum. Mustafa, say assalamu alaikum. You see yourself on the camera? Say assalamu alaikum. Say assalamu alaikum. Where you from? Yeah, born and raised in Los Angeles. Mainly up there, Turkey. I ain't never been out there before. First I've been there.
Something that will feel and whenever is going directly to the soul. Back to the soul.
Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah.
Sheikh is yes, every end of December. How long? For 15 days.
Did you also know about the foreign?
One family. Come to me. All right.
Thank you.